Isomerism is a phenomena in which the compounds will have the same molecular formula but they have different structural formula. Let's take an example in order to understand it. We are having butane C4H10 and methyl propane. It also has a formula C4H10. Both of them are having same molecular formula. Let's draw their structural formula. Butane has 4 carbon atoms connected with one another and 10 hydrogen atoms connected with these carbons. And if I am going to draw the methyl propane structure, so it will be something like that. 3 carbons here and 1 carbon will be here, connected with hydrogen atoms. So here you can see the similarity is this, that both of them are having molecular formula which is similar. But the difference is that they have different arrangements of atoms. Hence they have different structural formula. See, look at the structural formula of butane. It is this one, and this one is the structural formula of methyl propane. Butane is a straight chain alkane because all the carbon atoms are joined up in a row. Whereas in case of methyl propane, there is a branched chain of alkane, because we can see that there is a branch of methyl into it. So that's why it's a branched chain alkane. Second difference is that they have different physical properties such as melting and boiling point. The boiling point of butane is minus 0.5 degree centigrade, whereas methyl propane is minus 11.7 degree centigrade. So both of them are isomers. So how do alkanes behave? They are possessing physical properties and chemical properties as well. So how do the physical properties of alkanes change on going down the series? Alkanes show a gradual trend in the following properties. As their size will increase, so these properties will also be changed. If we talk about the first physical property, which is melting and boiling point, so we are going to take examples of different compounds of alkane. This is methane, this is ethane, propane, butane, and so on. So as we are proceeding down the group, what's happening? Their size is increasing. So as the relative molecular mass of the compounds will increase, so definitely they will require a lot of energy to break down all those bonds. So as a result, what will happen? There would be an increase in the melting and boiling point of the compounds. Look at the melting point of methane, it is minus 182. But the melting point of ethane will be minus 183. So see, there is an increase into it. And this increase is due to the increase in the molecular mass of the compound. So molecular mass of the compound will increase, so their forces of attraction or van der Waals forces of attraction will be increased, and a lot of energy will be required to excite the electrons and overcome those bonds. So as a result, their melting and boiling point will increase as we will proceed along the series. If we talk about the solubility, you have to keep one thing in your mind: like dissolves like. What does it mean? It means that organic compounds will always be dissolved in organic compounds. They will be always dissolved in such compounds which are having covalent bonding in them. They will never be dissolved into water, because water is an inorganic compound. So the organic compounds or alkanes will never be dissolved into water, but they can be dissolved into organic solvents. What is viscosity? Viscosity is basically the ability of a substance to flow. So more viscous as relative molecular mass increase. So alkanes will be more viscous as their molecular mass will increase. How? Let's suppose we are having two compounds. One is a long chain one. These are the hydrogens. And one is the small chain. molecule. So as we are going to pour this or flow this, what will happen? This long chain carbon will, the molecules will tangle, these carbon atoms will tangle with one another. So as a result, it's very hard to flow and very hard to move. Whereas if we are going to pour this molecule, so there are like few atoms are there, so the probability or the extent of tangle will be less, so that's why it can easily flow. That's why the more viscous is the compound, the more it means their molecular weight is increased. So as their relative molecular mass increases, so the viscosity will increase. So there will be like there will be resistance in flow of a molecule, so it will become more viscous, more thick. Examples: water, olive oil, and honey. Honey is more viscous because the molecules are more into it, they are tangled into it, so that's why the viscosity will definitely be increased when the molecular mass will increase. If we talk about flammability, so always remember that less flammable are those alkanes which are having molecular mass greater. Like they, as we will increase the number of carbon atoms, so their molecular mass will increase. So as a result, what will happen? There will be a lot of carbons and hydrogens available to be burnt. So that's why as the relative molecular mass will increase, their flammability will also increase. So see, the best examples of fuel are alkanes: methane, ethane, propane, butane. They're used domestically as a fuel. Why are we going to use them as a fuel? Because they are having combustion property. They can easily be combust, and as their molecular weight will increase, so more energy will be obtained from them. If we talk about the chemical properties of alkanes, so generally they are unreactive. Why are they unreactive? Alkanes consist of only carbon to carbon single bond and carbon to hydrogen single bond. So it means they are saturated. Their valency is completely satisfied and they don't need to react with any other compound in order to fulfill their octet configuration. Already they are satisfied, their octet configuration is already completed. So the alkanes are generally, they are unreactive, but they can undergo these two kind of reactions: combustion and substitution reaction. What is combustion? Combustion reaction is that when alkanes are ignited by a spark or a flame in the presence of excessive amount of oxygen. So what they will do? They will produce carbon dioxide along with water. So let's write its equation. Methane reacts with oxygen and it will produce carbon dioxide plus water molecule. Always remember the products of the combustion will be, in case of complete combustion, will be carbon dioxide and water, but in case of incomplete combustion will be carbon monoxide and water. So alkanes will ignite and they will produce a lot of energy because it will be a exothermic reaction. Exo means outer, therm means energy. So whenever the energy goes out of the system, so it would be an exothermic reaction. So the combustion of alkanes is highly exothermic in nature. Thus alkanes make good fuels. For example, we are using methane as a domestic fuel or a cooking gas. Petroleum fractions like petroleum gas, kerosene, diesel, oil, they all contain alkanes. So they all are good fuels. Why are they good fuels? Because they are exothermic. They can easily be combusted and they can easily be converted into carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So energy can be taken or it can be obtained from them. So that's why it's very, very easy and it's very handy to use them. Next is substitution reaction. What is substitution reaction? Alkanes react with halogens or with the other compounds, but mainly in case of alkanes will always react with halogens as chlorine and bromine in the presence of UV or ultraviolet light. So these reactions are called as substitution reaction. Whenever there is replacement of hydrogen by any of halogen, it's called as substitution reaction. Let's understand it with the help of a chemical equation. This is, we are having methane plus chlorine. So as a result, we will get methyl chloride along with HCl. So here you can see that what's happening, that we are having methyl chloride along with HCl. So this chlorine is substituting one of the hydrogens from here. Let me write the open structure of that. If I would write the open structure of methane, it's like this. And this chlorine will come in the presence of UV light, and it will substitute this hydrogen and attach itself in place of this hydrogen. So as a result, we'll get CH3, which is methyl, and chlorine, which is chloride. So methyl chloride will be obtained. So always remember, alkanes will undergo substitution reaction. In the substitution reaction, hydrogen will be substituted by any of halogen. As a result, we'll get any halide, and this is the name of this compound is chloromethane. So we are going to get it easily. Here you need to know one thing, that why this chlorine is substituting hydrogen. This is because of the electronegativity of chlorine. Chlorine is more reactive, it's more electronegative than hydrogen. So that's why it has a tendency to substitute hydrogen easily. Therefore, it will substitute it, the hydrogen will be released in the presence of UV lights, and then we are going to get methyl chloride or chloromethane. Thank you so very much for watching the video.